This is a Compass Corona Club 574, Compass Corona, sorry, 574. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. As you can see, the van's still being worked on at the moment, so bear with us on that. You've got the ATC on the front, and we'll take you through all of this in person here on site. Front of the van, you've got your gas bottle and gas regulator up on the bulkhead. Gas pipe work that goes into the bottle is a reverse thread fitment, and the gas valve on top turns the gas flow on and off. On the side of the van, you've got your Aldi heating flute, and you've also got your wind down legs on either side of the caravan at the front to stabilise the caravan. You'd never lift the caravan with these legs, like I said, they are just there for stabilising. You've then got your water pump connection, so you can see it going on the side of the van here and down into the top of the aqua roll itself. And we'll show you how to fill the water system once you go inside the van. You've then got your two fridge vents. One of them has a gas fill on it for when you're running the fridge on gas. But you'd never cover these up, and they are just there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. As I said, the van's still being worked on, so as you can see, the wheels are off at the moment while they're going through the systems on the van. Automatic motor mover, automatic engaged motor mover, will demonstrate that while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Got our grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van. So the fresh water that goes in the front of the van has to come out somewhere, and that comes out the side of the van here through the two grey pipes, and you put them into the larger diameter holes here on the outside, and they'll drop down inside the waste master. On the back of the van, you have your toilet flush tank. This tank here takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of pink fluid prior to use, and that is for your flush system on board the van. In the bottom here, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you open up and pull the cassette towards you. The handle is the lock, essentially, for the bottom of it. You've got the neck here that turns out, and you've got a grey cap on here to measure the blue fluid before you put it into the cassette when it's one capful. On the back, you have a pressure relief button for you tipping the waste away so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. But like I said, 1 litre of water in there and one capful of the blue fluid prior to use. You've got your stabilising legs on the back of the van, again to stabilise the van rather than lift the van. Coming down the door side, you've got your storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the van. Then at the front of the van, you have your power 12-volt battery and your mains power lead coming to the side of the van, and also in that locker is your power switch for your motor mover, which again we'll demonstrate here on site. Going inside the van, very simple to use this caravan. Up on the right hand side, left hand side of the door as you come in, you've got your master power switch, you've got your internal lights, your awning lights and your water pump run. At the top here you've got your voltmeter for the caravan itself. As you can hear there, the radio does work. I had to turn it off just in case any music played that we're not allowed to. So the control panel here is for your Aldi heating and hot water, and I'll come back to this in a moment. As you can see at the moment, it's 33 degrees inside this particular van. First thing we're going to do is fill the water system on board the caravan. So underneath this seat on the front right hand side, you will find a fill valve for the water system. So just below the seat just there, that yellow valve is the drain down valve and the fill valve essentially. So that valve, when it's parallel with the floor, it means you can fill the water system up. And if it's pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it'll actually drain all of the water out of the caravan. So like I said, to fill the system, parallel with the floor prior to filling. Once you've got that valve parallel with the floor, you come over to each tap on board the caravan, open them up on the hot side. As you see, you'll have water coming out of the system straight away because I've already bled this, all the system's already been bled. But you'll open all the taps up on the hot side prior to turn on the water pump. I'm just going to turn it off so it doesn't bleed all the water out of the system. So open all the taps up, then come to the control panel by the door and turn on your water pump. Once the water pump's on, the system will start filling, and once it's full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. Once that system's full, you shut all the taps off, and then you'll be able to start warming the water on board the caravan. So you come back over to your control panel here, and while I'm over here, I'm going to take you through the heating as well. You'll notice it's saying gas fail at the moment because the gas bottle's not turned on. Just waiting for this to clear up a little bit so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Top left hand corner here is the heating pump, so the heating system is working, and like I said, internally at the moment we're at 33.5 degrees. Let's go up with gas fail at the bottom, like I said, because the gas is turned off. To go into your options, you press menu. Just here at the top, you've got your temperature for the heating and for the internal heating of the caravan. So you've got minus or plus, depending on how you want to set the heating. Below that, you've got the option to turn on your water heating. So you've got water off when it's down the bottom here, or when its bar's completely empty. Water on, and then water boost when this bar's completely full. So like I said, water on is in the center here. Next one down is the amount of power that is coming into the heating and hot water system from the mains power on site. So you've got the option of running 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Here on site we can run 1 kilowatt of power into the heating and hot water system, and that kilowatt is only relevant to the heating and hot water system. You don't need to worry about the fridge, etc. That runs off a separate system. Like I said, you've got off if you're off grid, 1 kilowatt of power coming into the van depending on what site you're on, 2 or 3. Down the bottom here you've got your option to run your gas. So you can run gas as the power source for the heating and hot water, or you can run it as a combination with the electric. But if you're on a mains powered site, then obviously you'd use the mains power rather than your gas. As long as the gas bottle's turned on, the heating system should ignite, because you don't need to remove any covers on the outside of this particular van to allow the systems to ignite, and that's what all the heating fluids at the front that allows that to ignite and run as it needs to. Like I said, you've got your room temperature plus or minus, hot water off, on and boost, mains power coming into the caravan, and your option to run gas at the bottom also. You have got some advanced settings in here where you can set programs for the heating and hot water systems also. So that's your heating and hot water control panel. Very, very simple to use. Next thing we go to is the fridge, which you've got a power button on the front of the fridge. Now you can run the fridge in 3 different ways. You've got gas, which will, again, if the gas is turned on and you bled the system by igniting the hob first, the gas system will automatically ignite on the fridge as long as you put it onto the gas option. On gas or mains, you control the temperature of the fridge with the button on the right hand side here. You can also run 240 volt. So if you're on mains, for instance, you'll select the mains option, and that will allow you to run on mains power. The mains power isn't turned on either over at the wall at the moment, so I do apologise. So what essentially it's doing is every time it starts flashing, it means there is no power source there. So whether it be 240 mains or gas, so it essentially means when it beeps and flashes like that, that it has failed to ignite. You can also run 12 volt mode while you're towing down the road. So if you've got the car connected, car and caravan connected to each other, you can actually use the 12 volt system to power the fridge as a cool box. That is if you've got the right connector on the back of the car. If you haven't, it won't actually allow that to happen. So like I said, 12 volt mode will allow you to get the beers and wine nice and cold before you arrive on site, but you need to connect to the car first, turn the control panel off by the door, and just use the control panel on the front of the fridge just here. 240 mains, very simple to use, plug the van in through the mains power. Gas, you need to make sure it's turned on and you've got gas available in the bottle to make that system work. Turn the fridge off, you'll press and hold the power button, and the fridge will turn back off. Microwave is actually an eco microwave on board the van, so normally when you've got mains power coming in, you'll press the eco button and the control panel up here will light back up with the time, etc. on it that you want to cook for. Electric ring will only work while you're on 240 volt. Gas, obviously if you've got gas available, then you use the gas as well. Then you've got your cooker and grill, which works off all the controls along the front here. The beds do lift up so you can access the storage underneath. Like I said, the van's still being worked on at the moment, so I do apologise about the mess inside. But the beds would normally lift up to allow you to access that storage underneath the beds. In the cupboard just here, you'll actually notice there's an Aldi heating tank. Now what that tank is a bit like the radiator on your car. So it has antifreeze in there. You never need to drain it down. You leave that system full. And you'll notice it's just above the minimum, which is where it should be level-wise. When it's hot, it'll go up to the maximum up the top there. And you'll notice the breather pipe out the top that we advise you leave up in that position. Last systems we're going to go through on the inside of the van are the toilet system in the bathroom. Oh, one other thing, remember these heaters or the towel rails hold a lot of heat even after you've turned the heating system off, so do be aware of that. Toilet system in the bathroom, electric flush on top of the toilet. You have a toilet full indicator light, so it'll essentially let you know when the toilet waste cassette under the van is completely full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you are removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure it's pointing straight across towards the shower, because it has 2 lock-in tabs on the bottom of the toilet seat for if it is turned. Probably in this van you probably wouldn't even need to turn it, but it is there as an option. But it'd lock the toilet cassette in place so the toilet cassette can't be removed while the toilet is being used. It'll also do the same if you have the toilet waste flap open down the bottom here. So if that toilet waste flap was open in the position it is now, again, the toilet waste cassette would not be able to be removed. If you did pull it out in that position, you would have more than likely broke the toilet cassette itself. When it's shut there, that's how we advise to have it once you've used the loo and you flushed the loo, etc. Just so no smells come back up inside the van. So that was the Compass Corona 574. If you have any questions on the van, please don't hesitate to call us here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan later in the week. Thank you for now. Bye bye.